Chapter 80 of Kagurabachi was another certified banger. I'm not surprised. Hokuzono's always given us 10 out of 10s, we know this. Once again, another very exciting one. For a Hakuri girly like me, Hakuri is my favorite. So obviously, big day, because it was all him the whole entire chapter. We never left his side, so loved it, love to see it. I am Hakuri today. I'm giving Hakuri. I've got the pants on and everything. I live in Florida, so it's pretty hot. It's giving Hakuri, but it's warm, it's toasty even inside. But it's funny, because here, this will give me an excuse to take the jacket off. Because look, Hakuri, Longa Hasagawa, what are you doing here? Yeah, but I'm going to take this jacket off, because it's toasty, but I wanted to show that I can give Hakuri. But now I'm Longa. Another blue-eyed king, we're close enough. Eventually, I might take off this, too. We'll see, I'm just going to strip down this whole video. Last Kagurabachi video I made, I thanked you guys for getting me to 250 subscribers, and as like a long shot goal, I was like, what if by May 31st, also known as my birthday, we got to 300 subscribers, and now we're only 12 away. Like, come on, one final push. Maybe this video can get us to 300? Maybe. Happy birthday, me. That'd be pretty fun. So we're so close to 300. Keep pushing, fellas. I'm the Kagurabachi girl of YouTube, so if you like what you're hearing and like what you see, then you should subscribe. We're close to 300. So now that we've got that out of the way, we should just get right into the chapter content because we've got a lot of Hakuri to talk about today. So I'm just gonna get it out of the way now so I don't have to pause every single time, because I usually keep this chronological. I don't want to pause every single time he looks super cute. So here's a lot of panels of Hakuri looking adorable this chapter, so I don't have to keep stopping us in the middle of what we're doing, so I can be like, let's pause this talk real quick so I can show you how cute Hakuri is. Here's all the pictures of him. Library time. I like that there's literally an invasion going on, and here we are in the library. Interesting, I think, is that teleportation is noted as an academic sorcery, because who is our resident teleporter? Mr. Togo Shiba. And so, I guess you could take that as, does that imply that his sorcery was not innate at birth? I'm gonna say that his is not an academic sorcery, even though it is, like, teleporting technically, because his fingers do, like, the little wiggly thing, whereas, like, the Masumi use the drawn circles, so I think that Shiba's is a different method of teleportation. So he was probably born with his, but I do think it's notable enough to point out, because I hear teleporting in Kagurabachi, and the first person I think of is Shiba. And all of this talk of, like, studying and stuff is fun as well. Because I think it's good to know as a reader that, like, yeah, the people in the Kaminabi worked hard to where they get to. They read, like, a third of the books in this library, really studied up on it, you know? It makes sense that they would have to work hard to get in, obviously. But I think it is nice to hear about that process and stuff. So we know these people worked hard to be where they are. Also, Hakuri not being fond of studying, the little face he makes, I already pointed it out, but it is so funny. And honestly, it makes sense. Like, I feel like Hakuri just gives that vibe where he would not like that at all. So I just think that's like a cute little detail that was put in. I like that this chapter, even though we cut away from Azami, his presence from last chapter is still felt when Hakuri points out the ruckus from above and, like, hearing that something's going down upstairs. I think that's a really cool detail, because we cut to Hakuri, but of course the stuff upstairs is still going on. I really like that detail of Hakuri being like, what is that? It sounds like they're gonna bust through the floor. Like, of course, because, like, that's still on our brain too, you know what I mean? Because Azami got revealed that he's like a freaking monster last chapter. I think it's funny to point out, like, yeah, he's still fucking shit up upstairs, you know? And we get a name reveal for the old short guy. His name is Ichiki. One of my pals, when I asked him what this translates to, said that it translates to first demon. Personally, I think that this fuels my traitor theory, that the traitor is the old short guy, Ichiki. I think my stocks are up at this point. Because, like, I think Azami's pretty in the clear at this point. And this guy gets introduced because it's like, oh, like, it's loud upstairs. Ichiki must have joined the fight with Azami. Did he join the fight? On what side? You know? Like, I think that there's a lot to play around with there. I don't know. I think specifically pointing out that Ichiki has joined this fight, or must have, and that's when we get his name revealed, when he's not even, like, on the screen, and, like, oh, like, well, he must be fighting. I think my stocks are up, personally. Especially with a name like that. Are you kidding me? It's like, why are you fighting, sir? Are you defending or are you invading? Food for thought, guys. I'm on to something. Kagurabachi girl of YouTube's never wrong unless I am. If I am wrong, don't pull this up. Hakuri's internal monologue calling Ichiki teeny and ancient was so funny. Like, that's what we call him. Like, to us, before this, he was, like, the old short guy. Or, like, one of my pals calls him Gremlin, like, Gremlin Kaminabi. We never had his real name, so we just came up with a bunch of, like, he's short and old. He, like, you know what I mean? So, of course, Hakuri was like, I like that out loud. He was like, that dude can fight? And in his monologue, it was like, that dude's teeny and ancient. Like, that's what we're saying too, bestie. So while Kudo is giving us this exposition, we see multiple Kaminabi members. First, Kudo is back. It's been a hot second since we've seen him. And everyone on Twitter is talking about this pretty lady. Personally, I am more interested in this guy. He's got that Akashi Keiji type of beauty to me. Like, he's a pretty boy. This whole group in general looks really cool, I think. Also, when he's talking about the upper echelon, he does point out that Azami is on a whole nother level than the rest of them, which tracks. I think that makes sense and is a reasonable thing to point out. I know that's right. I sure hope that he's on his own level, because Mr. Assault and Battery Executions is making so much noise upstairs that Hakuri thought he was going to pound through the floor. Like... So I know a lot of people last chapter were saying that since Ichiki trained Azami, that's a big upscale for him, which I think it still is, but I guess it is important to note that eventually at some point Azami clearly surpassed him, or, I mean, that's implied. It is, like, confirmed, at least from Kudo's perspective, that Azami did eventually surpass him at one point, clearly. At least that's what that says to me. I love the line of Kudo saying that, like, oh, Azami and those guys, it's less about protecting and more like they're hunting prey. Like, I was saying Azami's crazy last video. I was like, this guy's deranged. And they show him with his big old bug eyes being like, yeah, they're hunting prey. They're not really protecting, you know? So, like, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, this dude's crazy. So I'm glad Kudo agrees with me. Someone does. Hakuri saying, what a cutie, about the man in the elevator's child was so cute. Like, his eyes were all sparkly, and he's like, what a cutie. Like, no, that's you, bestie, that's you. And also, you did not, in hindsight, did not need to give that compliment for that man just to do what he did. Because, here's my next point. If Hakuri had a nickel for every time someone sliced their own neck right in front of him, he'd have 2 fucking nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird and awful and horrible that it happened twice. My son does not deserve this. He does not deserve this. The blood splattering at the bottom of the page, though, was sick. That's a really good detail. I like that. And Kudo's sorcery is super cool, too. The way Hakuri drops through the floor and then, like, the ripple effect underneath. Like, oh, that's sick. That's so good. That is gonna look so sick animated when we eventually, like, probably like 4 years from now, get that animated. Beautiful. Those dudes trying to take Hakuri hostage to attract the core fighters. Interesting to note, so who are we trying to attract? We're trying to attract somebody by getting Hakuri specifically, it seems. My brain would go Chihiro, Shiba, even Samura in that case, anyone along these lines, you know. That is, if they were taking Hakuri purposefully, which the way that was worded makes it seem like yes, but we'll see. Also, I think the Shaku doing hostage deals in general is interesting. Like, their methods are odd, we know this, but, like, I don't know, it seems a bit strange. I mean, I guess it makes sense considering their whole thing is like $50 and a lighter, but, like, at least they're upholding their end of the deal. Like, that one guy slit his neck and they were like, okay, release his daughter. So, I mean, at least they're like, they took hostages. At least they're releasing them after. Like, they did what was told and then let him go. W Hishaku? Probably not. Dude, and when those guys threw out the idea of cutting Hakuri's limbs off, and he pulled a fast one and was like, but how will you do it? Peak. Like, is that my Hakuri Sazanami aura farming? In the year of our Lord, 2025? He's only done that like one other time. And of course he gets his face bashed in right after this one, but hey, it was cool. And the use of storeroom here was so badass too. It was so clever. It was awesome. I loved it so much. But with what swords, bitch? Like, you tell him, baby. Go get him, Hakuri. You show him who's who. And it is absolutely diabolical that the narration was like, well, these Kaminabi members had 5 years of training, but their training is nothing on Hakuri's decade of domestic abuse. Woo! You get him, Hakuri! Like, what? Diabolical. Absolutely diabolical. The blood on Soya's fist in this panel makes me absolutely sick. But the way Hakuri's finger cuts into the text box is super duper cool. And then, boom! ISO. Or ISO, however you say it. I think I say ISO, most of the time. But go get him, Hakuri! Woo, you show him what's what, baby! This whole chapter is me being a proud mother. Him apologizing before doing it, too, is so funny. Like, bestie, they were literally gonna chop off your limbs. And you're like, sorry. Bam! Like, they were gonna chop off your limbs. And, like, sure, it was only because their families were being held hostage. But still, you know, like... My ring light just pooped out, so please ignore the fact that the lighting changed. Honestly, I think this might look kind of better. Editor Callie, does this look better? Do we need to take notes? Anyways, I love the way that this whole ending was framed with Hakuri being fresh out of his lobotomy, being like, it's up to me. Only I can do the task of teleporting the Shinuchi. And then, quote, from now on, there's no knowing who's an enemy. Let me skip a little. Chihiro is also out there fighting. I'm one of the core fighters too. Peak. It is a very, very efficient ending. Honestly, the pacing of this whole chapter was really good. I didn't realize until I was doing like my notes for this video how well structured this chapter really is. Like, this chapter is like a masterclass. The way all of the events progress and then you get to this building up ending of Hakuri finding this strength is so good. Hokuzono struck gold once again. We are getting the honey supply ready to pour pronto, sir. It's all yours. Like, take it all. Let me tell you why this ending is so good to me. The no knowing of who our enemy is builds tension for this ongoing invasion. And then it also reminds us, the readers, that Chihiro is still out there dealing with his own things that are also important. And of course, Hakuri would be thinking about him, and thinking of Chihiro gave him some strength, which then leads us to the core fighter line. I think that this phrase reflects to us that his self-worth is growing. Because at first it's just, oh, Aura, like, yeah, you are a core fighter, pal, sure, you know what I mean? But, like, this really is a good character moment for him because he considered himself useless for so long and tries to make up for it with how useful he can be. But this feels less about that and making it up to people and more just, there's a threat going on, I'm the best bet we have, I'm a core fighter too. It's not out of a place of, man, I fucked up before and now things are going to shit, I need to make up for it. It's less that self-doubt and more just he found strength in himself. He has a use that isn't coming from a place of self-deprecation and he's gonna give it his all. And I think that is such an important moment for him that I didn't really realize how important it was until I was revisiting this chapter, the same day, granted, but still, to write my notes for this video, and I was like, wait, because that's a really good Hakuri moment. Because his self-worth is shit. Like, what? Like, oh my gosh. Like, that is such a big moment for him. So good. This whole ending bit was fantastic. This whole chapter was. But just the build-up of his internal monologue leading to that core fighter's line, I think is really well done. And now I'm gonna circle back to Hakuri thinking of Chihiro in this moment, because Chihiro and Hakuri both thinking of each other to give them strength is so freaking amazing. Like, oh my god, I can't do it. It makes me feel like that Cynthia Erivo gif, like with the nails on the head. Like every time Chihiro and Hakuri think of each other, like in a hard moment, and like the other person, just the thought of them gives them strength, it's like, Yeah, like, it is so satisfying to me and just such good writing. Their relationship is so cute, man. I love them so much. Oh my gosh. Chihiro's "I'll become that samurai" moved mountains for me. And you guys are so lucky that I did not make videos yet when that chapter came out, because I was so annoying about that panel. Like, oh my god, I was a menace. I was in a parking lot reading that with my sister, and we literally like screamed for like 2 whole minutes and then continued reading. And then like, I probably reported that to my mom right away. Like, it was ridiculous. This morning I filled my mom in on these past 3 chapters, and I was like, man, my throat is dry. I hope it'll be okay for my video. My mama loves Bachi. Hakuri's her favorite, so big chapter for her too. She doesn't read it, I just tell her about it. But she knows everything that happens. And so I'm sure she would agree with me that this chapter is peak. This chapter was so good, of course. As always, I said it before. If you liked this video and hearing me talk, 1, subscribe. But 2, I also talk on a podcast now. Kamunabi headquarters. We have some good times. Every video we film, I think, gets better and better. So we have some good laughs on there. We have some good times. We talk about a lot of different things. Obviously, Kagurabachi, of course, but we delve off sometimes, get into some funny topics. We have good times over there. So if you like hearing me talk, and you want to hear 3 other people talk with me, then I would recommend that. We have a good time. So subscribe and like this video and comment. Comments are my favorite. I say that every single video. Comments are the best. So comment whatever thoughts you have about the chapter, any previous chapters, literally whatever you want to say, I will read it. I think that's all I have to say for today. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. And bye-bye. Aruha Nation, do not falter. Also, Shiba's really hot. And oh my god, I didn't call anyone hot all chapter. Shiba's really hot, guys.